Hey guys, so we are going to read a short excerpt from Snow White. This is the Brothers Grimm Snow White. Um, because we have to address some things before we get into the main topic. So if you don't feel like hearing the story or this small little section, I mean, we're probably reading to about here. Then just skip ahead. Don't worry, I'm not going to be like one. No, I'm going to read at a normal pace, so it shouldn't be too far. So just go ahead if you don't feel like hearing it. Uh, Other than that, we're reading this for a very specific reason, and we'll get into that reason when I'm done reading it. So, once upon a time in the middle of winter, when the flakes of snow were falling like feathers from the sky, a queen sat at a window sewing, and the frame of the window was made of black ebony. And while she was sewing and looking out the window at the snow, she pricked her finger with the needle, and 3 drops of blood fell upon the snow. And the red looked pretty upon the white snow, and she thought to herself, would that I had a child as white as snow, as red as blood, and as black ebony, as black as the wood from the window frame. Soon after, she had a little daughter who was as white as snow and as red as blood, and her hair was black as ebony, and she was therefore called Little Snow White. And when the child was born, the queen died. So, the origins of Snow White. Her skin was as white as snow. It's not like, say, she survived a snowstorm and, her nickname, it was her nickname or her just name given to her as like a form of reminding her, everyone about her resilience. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. So, Brothers Grimm clearly stated that Snow White herself, skin as white as snow, in their version, um, lips as red as blood, and yeah. So, original Snow White, Brothers Grimm, skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, hair black as ebony. In the Disney version, the 2 of them are the same except for the lips parts. The lips is changed to red as a rose because obviously it's Disney. You can't say blood. But we're having to change the origin story. Now this person right here claims it's not because of her skin color, because they didn't go out of their way to make her look like Snow White at all. She still got her skin color. So, but actress Rachel Zegler confirmed that the upcoming Disney live-action Snow White film will change the origin of Snow White's name. In an interview with Variety, Zegler revealed that Snow White's name is not due to her skin tone. She shared, it fell back to another version of Snow White that was told in history, where she survived a snowstorm that occurred when she was a baby, and so the king and queen decided to name her Snow White to remind her of her resilience. Zegler added, one of the core points in our film is for any young woman or young person uh, is remembering how strong you actually are. So, because she survived a snowstorm as a baby. Not because of like the Disney version where she was skin as white as snow. Not because of even the Brothers Grimm. I mean, Brothers Grimm wrote the story. So I don't know what story she's talking about here. Hell, I was looking up Snow White, the origins and meaning behind the name. And this was Snopes. And the claim Snow White was named for her physical appearance in the Brothers Grimm tale in 1812. True. So what the hell is Rachel Zegler even talking about? What other version? Is there a secret version that we don't know about? No, is there a version? Because if she was referring to the 1937 version, she would have just referred to that one. But she said in history, the Brothers Grimm wrote Snow White. So what other version is there? I mean, she's named Snow White because of her appearance. Simple as that. But again, Rachel Zegler is young and stupid, so can't really expect much from her. Not only did Zegler confirm that the Disney's live action is changing the origin of Snow White's name, but she also addressed a backlash she received regarding her numerous comments made at D23 back in 2022 that revealed how Disney was seemingly changing the entire movie altogether. For example, Zegler insulted and derided anyone who had an affinity to the original film, telling Extra TV, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird, weird. We didn't do that this time. After being asked about the prince, she said, we have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because we cast a guy in the movie. Andrew Burnap, great dude. It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about a love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get, or could get, I think it was, could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. It's an inner journey that really an inner journey that she goes on to find her true self, and she meets a lot of people along the way that make her journey really incredible. I mean, it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White. Gal Gadot, she's not going to be saved by the prince. Zegler, she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, the leader that her late father told her she could be, if she was fearless, brave, and true. Fearless and brave. Two words many times used to describe boss bitches. So, just throwing that out there. And so it's just really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in. Because it's always seeing yourself. You can't just go be entertained by anything anymore. It's just, you gotta see yourself. The reality is that the cartoon was made 85 years ago and therefore is extremely dated when it comes to ideas about women being in roles of power. Because, since that movie was released, there's never been a woman in power ever. And what a woman is fit for in the world. And so we came to a reimagining of the actual role of Snow White, and it became about the fairest of them all meeting who is the most just and who can become a fantastic leader. And the reality is, Snow White has a lot of lessons, has to learn a lot of lessons about becoming her own, coming into her own power before she can come into power over a kingdom. Doe also said, also there's the fact that she's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's the proactive one, and she's going to set the terms, and what set the terms is what makes it so relevant to where we are today. Zegler addressed the backlash to the snide and disrespectful comments by playing victim, telling Variety, in all honesty, it made me sad that it was taken in such a way because I believe that women can do anything. Apparently you don't. You don't think women should have their own space. I mean, there's that. Because either the same people allowing dudes who were playing pretend to go into women-only areas, sports, locker rooms, bathrooms, beauty pageants. So there's that. Um, but I also believe they can do everything. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. There's things men can do, and there's things women can do. Women can't do everything. Men can't do everything. It's not a put your mind to it and you can achieve anything. No, there are physically things that women just cannot do. Don't blame us. Blame your gender. Blame your biology. I get the whole, oh, well, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish. No, it's, I don't know what fantasy world or fairy tale you're living in, but the real world doesn't work like that. Trying hard sometimes doesn't always work out. Just because you put your mind to it doesn't mean you're going to accomplish it. Just because you believe you can do something doesn't mean you actually can. She continued, I would never want to box someone and say, if you want to love, then you can't work. No one's saying that. Only the boss bitches as of late think that, oh, well, I don't need a man because I can focus on my career. You can have a career and have love. I know, crazy, right? It's almost like it's been something that's been done since the beginning of time. Who knew? But again, she's young and stupid. What do you expect? It's never been true. Duh. I mean, I don't know. She reminds me of those kids from a few years ago with the freaking like Holocaust TikTok trend that they were doing. Oh, we're raising awareness of the Holocaust. It's like, okay, you guys are idiot kids. Anyone who grew up before you were born learned about the Holocaust. We know what it was. We know it was terrible. You don't need to be doing this stuff on TikTok to raise awareness of it. We're not stupid. Zegler then lied and said her comments were taken out of context and that she was joking. It can be very upsetting when things get taken out of context or jokes don't land. What jokes? What jokes? You're the same person who went on Twitter, thanked everyone for the views on the trailer, and then said, and as usual or as always, free Palestine. Was that a joke too? Was that a joke too? Is that just a joke that didn't land and people just don't understand your humor? She then appeared to indicate that the love story is back on the table after it likely had been removed before the backlash. The love story is very integral. Integral. Um, it's integral to the story. I mean, yeah. Yeah. A lot of people wrote we weren't doing God, doing that storyline anymore. We were always it was we were always doing that. It just wasn't what we were doing about on that day. Right. Right. So the person who sat there and said, "Oh yeah, we're not going to focus on the love story and all these guys, this guy who was hired to play the prince, he may not even show up in the movie because we're not focusing on that." But then it's all of a sudden it's, "Oh, well, we were always focusing on love story." Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Zegler then doubled down on playing the victim and even attempted to tie into the current presidential oh my god. I've watched women get torn down my whole life, my whole career. We'll watch it in the election that's upcoming. We're going to witness that for a long time, I fear. Sometimes I can't feel, I can't, sometimes I can feel like we're going back. It certainly felt that way when that was happening. She then revealed it's all a power struggle to her. I don't like to give them the satisfaction of knowing they hurt me in the moment. You give them a lot of power by taking a social media break. Right. So instead, you just double down and keep saying stupid shit and push more people away from seeing your film. It makes sense. Makes sense to me. What's your problem? What do you make of Yeah, it's gonna be a nickname because again, they didn't go out of their way at all to make her look as white as snow. She's still brown. So clearly she can't be Snow White with skin as white as snow in a movie that she's clearly brown. So surviving a snowstorm when she was a baby and maybe they could just, CG her face white, or just a lighter skin color. It doesn't have to be literally as white as snow. Because even in the movie, every portrayal of her skin is never like this. This is white. We don't want that on her. We don't want that on her. But she's not white, she's brown. So maybe go in and digitally just tone it down a bit to make her appear more white as snow. Unless she is as snow, but like if someone took a shit on snow. I mean, we have the power to do it these days, so why not just go in there and just. But once again, gotta change the origin. She says, oh, they're not gonna focus on the love story, but then, oh, we were always gonna. Just one thing after another from this chick, because she doesn't know when to shut up. She just doesn't know when to shut up. But what do you expect? Again, she's a 20-something-year-old in Hollywood who lives around people who just kiss her ass all the damn time. And whenever she comes online, she finds out how the world really is. The world isn't kind. The world isn't an echo chamber, a safe space. People are going to be mean to you. People are going to call out your crap. People are going to question when you say stupid things and make stupid comments like weird, weird. Um, but anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.